Outside, ready? Albert. Punch! Side,
It's a skill position, particularly where they're going to handle the football, because we're not going to leave the thing on the ground.
Run it one more time.
I know a little bit more about what's around the corner, whereas last year I didn't know what was around the corner in most cases.
Set your head down, touch your head to that knee. Ready? Punch!
Richard and I, like I said, are good friends, you know, and we have the bond of being Alabama quarterbacks and being from the same part of the country. And like I said, I'm pulling for him, and I'm sure he's pulling for me.
This is The Colors of Fall, a look at football 1984.
Hey! Okay, all right. Good evening. I'm Ron Gollnick. The stadium you see behind me is empty tonight, but beginning this coming Saturday, the peace and quiet that one feels here at this particular moment will give way to the excitement, to the pandemonium of the 1984 college football season. Now, whether you're a Bama fan or an Auburn fan or just a college football fan, 1984 will go down as a monumental year, a unique year, headlined mainly by that United States Supreme Court decision to let college football teams sell their own football rights to TV. It is also the year Ray Perkins will come into his own as the head football coach at the University of Alabama. Perkins is no longer a rookie coach. His players have had time to adapt to his methods, and so have the fans. Here at Auburn, 1984 is expected to be a banner season. Running back Bo Jackson is the school's first legitimate Heisman Trophy contender since Pat Sullivan. The Tigers were picked as high as #1 in many preseason polls, and they're expected to challenge for the national title. Many people felt they won that last year. Florida State has its own Heisman Trophy contender in Milton's Greg Allen. LSU has a new coach this year, and where will Georgia, Florida, Tennessee place in the SEC race? We'll look into all of these issues in the next 30 minutes in College Preview 1984.
War eagle, fly down the field, never to conquer, never to yield. Hey, war eagle, fearless and true, fight on, you armed and blue. Go, 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 on to victory, strike up the band. Hit 'em high, hit 'em low, stand up and yell. Hey, war eagle, winning for Auburn, power of Dixieland.
This is Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. It's the home of the Auburn Tigers, and since his arrival here on the Plains 3 years ago, Pat Dye has beaten Alabama 2 times. He's won an SEC championship, gone to the Sugar Bowl, and he's produced a legitimate contender for the national championship. He also has in his stables one of America's premier running backs.
You know, he has all the qualities of being a great running back, and then, of course, you combine that with a desire and determination and being fearless, then you've got what you got in both.
Pat Dye credits his success in the last few years to hard work and recruiting which has brought the likes of Bo Jackson to Tigerland. Last season, Jackson began the year in the shadow of another sophomore, Marcus Dupree. Dupree faded away, Jackson shined. Ray Perkins has called him capable of playing in the NFL right now. Pat Dye calls him the most exciting player in the game. Bo's achievements speak for themselves. He was the only sophomore in the country to be named first-team All-America last season. He was the MVP of the Sugar Bowl, and he rushed for over 100 yards in 7 of Auburn's 11 ball games. This year, he's the leading contender to win the Heisman Trophy.
We're going to pass, we're going to run the ball, just whatever it takes to get it out there and win on Saturday, that's what we're going to do. It's hard for me to sit still, and I've been like that all of my life. And when I wasn't working at home doing stuff in the yard, I was out either playing baseball or just doing stuff that was very athletic.
Great hands, great hands.
The way that I see it is that if they're gonna give me all the publicity about my running, well, they should give those guys that are blocking for me the same prep that they give me.
It feels great to know that you can make a mistake and give it to Bo, and he can pick up 5 or 10 yards. So it's a great feeling and relieves a lot of pressure off the quarterback.
Washington, along with senior Mike Mann, will be fighting it out for the rights to hand the ball off to Bo this year. Washington has been hampered with an early season shoulder injury. Besides Jackson in the backfield, the Tigers will rely on fullback Tommy Agee with his run against Maryland. Agee had 219 yards in that game and 604 for the season, third best ever by an Auburn freshman. Defensively, the Tigers must shore up the secondary. They were burned by some of the top quarterbacks in the nation last year, allowing close to 200 yards a game. Fairhope's David King, with his circus interception against Florida State, is a preseason All-American. He says the secondary will be much improved.
You know, last year, a lot of people thought our secondary was going to be weak because we were young. But this year, we don't have to worry about any mistakes and have to worry about other guys not getting to the ball. You can expect more interceptions and more big plays.
At linebacker, Greg Carr, number 54, is the heart of the Auburn defense. He, too, is a preseason All-American.
A lot is expected of our team this year, and, of course, I'll be the first one to tell you that I think a lot of that expectation is well-deserved, I guess, because I think that we can have a good football team this year, and it's going to take a tremendous effort on our part, though, and we realize nothing's going to be given to us, and that by just us showing up on Saturday afternoon, we're not going to win a football game, but we're going to have to work hard for it. But I think the character of this team is such that we're willing to put that work into it, and because we want to do well this year, and we have the potential to do well.
The one problem Pat Dye might have this year is keeping everybody happy. He's got so many talented players that one running back has already quit, and another says he might leave after the season.
The biggest problem that we've had in the last couple of years since I've been at Auburn is that our schedule has been so difficult and so tough, and we haven't had many comfortable leads of where we could play anybody, except the guys that were safe and good enough to win with. So that has handicapped us in playing a lot of people. It's a skill position, particularly where they're going to handle the football, because we're not going to leave the thing on the ground.
But leave it on the ground they did, and it cost them. Last Monday night at Giants Stadium, top-ranked Auburn versus defending national champion Miami. The Canes scored on their first possession. Bernie Kosar upstairs, 17 yards to Stanley Shakespeare. Mobile's Pat Washington entered the game at quarterback at the beginning of the second quarter, and he put 6 on the board with his pass to Clayton Buford. It was 14-10 with 56 seconds left in the half when Miami muffled the punt attempt. Tommy Powell with a tackle and 2 points for the Tigers. Auburn took its first lead of the night when freshman kicker Robert McGinney hit on this 42-yard field goal midway through the third quarter, 15-14 Tigers. But Miami went ahead to stay when Greg Cox hit on this 25-yarder with 6:28 remaining. Auburn was on the move, but with 2:57 to go, Washington's pitch to Fullwood was high, and Cortez recovered for Miami at the Tiger 49, and that was it. 20-18, Miami over Auburn.
Up next, Ray Perkins and Year 2.
This is it. I'm right there.
Never gonna leave.
They're not going to be able to run now.
Yay, Alabama, down and tired. Every Bama man's behind you. Hit your stride. Go teach the Bulldogs to behave. Send the Yellow Jackets to a watery grave. And if a man starts to weaken, that's a shame. But Bama's plucked and gritty, Ritter, naming crimson flame. Fight on, fight on, fight on, men. Remember the Rose Bowl will win. Then, hey, roll the victory. Hit your stride. Your Dixie's football pride, Crimson Tide.
When Ray Perkins first accepted the head coaching position here at the University of Alabama, he said that it was a job that he'd always wanted, but still, succeeding a legend put extreme pressure on Ray Perkins. Well, the transition period is over, and both Ray Perkins and the University of Alabama are doing very fine, thank you. He was a respectable 8-4 last season, and his team this year is expected to do even better than that.
Well, I'm looking for a great defensive football team, hopefully. You know, I think we've got a front seven comparable with anybody in the country, and I think in our secondary is where we had some problems last year, but I think we're looking at 2 or 3 freshmen to hopefully make the progress that they need, and a couple of red shirts from last year to shore up that defensive secondary. And if we do that, we play up to our capabilities, I think we can have a very fine defensive football team.
I feel a lot more confidence about our whole defense entirely because we played together for a year and been down here all summer working hard. And I feel real good about the guys playing beside me.
95!
Experience has brought this team together, both offensively and defensively. But if there is one question mark, it is at quarterback, with 3 very good signal callers vying for the job. The leading candidate is a 5th-year senior, Paul Fields. Fields was granted an extra year of eligibility, and the draw of getting to start brought him back to school.
I think I'm suited for this type of offense. I run it in high school, and so I feel comfortable with it. And I'm just excited about coming into this league and really showing what I can do. And I feel like that if I can perform up to my ability, then I could be there. I can play with them.
386. Set. Hit.
Yeah, this kind of brings me back to my high school days, running this type of offense. And when I was in high school, it was a lot of fun. It was real exciting, and most people perceive me that I, can throw the football. But I think, my advantage is, this type of offense.
Also fighting for the job is Mike Shula, the son of Miami Dolphins head coach Don Shula. Shula says being the son of a famous football coach puts some pressure on you, but he says he can't worry about that.
First of all, the pressure, I just got to let the other people think about that. I can't be worried about that. I got to go into it and put that in the back of my mind and concentrate on the things that I need to work on. I think being around football all my life and being around the fact that it is something that I enjoy so much, it makes that much more exciting for me and more eager to learn more about and to understand.
The backfield will have plenty of running power and 2 returning starters. Kerry Good is just a sophomore, but Coach Perkins says if he stays healthy, he'll have the chance to be one of the best who ever played at Tuscaloosa. Ricky Moore, on the other hand, is a senior, a team leader, and Perkins expects big things from him.
People are going to, be going after me and everything, and it's just going to have to, push me a little bit more, for myself to go out and be the best that I can be out there on the field and everything. And I feel like that, what Coach Perkins said, that, I got to live up to that, and that's got to, motivate me just that much more to go out and be, a little bit better, each game, each practice, and show that little leadership that is expected of me now that I'm a senior and everything. And, I'm looking forward to the challenge and rising up, raising up to the occasion.
For Perkins, the returning experience in his players is a definite asset, but perhaps even higher on the list of assets is his own experience.
I had a lot of unknown factors at this point in time last year. I hadn't really studied the other teams around the SEC. Didn't plan to until it was time to study them to get ready for the game. So there was unknowns as far as the talent comparison on our team with other SEC teams. I'm a little bit more aware of that now, having gone around the horn one time.
I admire him a lot because of his whiz, his genius, and of knowing the offense, and helps you out mentally. It feels like that. Learning this type of offense is really hard, but through him, he knows it so well that it just comes easy for me now.
I enjoy this age group a lot more than I do the older group for a lot of different reasons. But they were just, I think the biggest difference is just there's not as many unknown factors this year. So I know a little bit more about what's around the corner, whereas last year I didn't know what was around the corner in most cases.
Coming up next, Around the Horn.
We've told you about Alabama, we've told you about Auburn, but there's 8 other teams that would like to win the SEC championship this year. For a look at their chances, let's go to Eric Clemens.
The Gators of Florida are expected to be in the hunt for the SEC championship all year, but head coach Charlie Pell must find a replacement for departed quarterback Wayne Peace to lead his offense. The Gators will have plenty of firepower in their ground game. Tailbacks Lorenzo Hampton and Neil Anderson are game breakers, and that's the reason some say the Gators have the best backfield in the nation. Florida has 5 runners with great ability, and any defense will be hard-pressed to stop them from eating it up on the ground. Anytime your team has a 43-4-1 record over the past 4 years, it must be reckoned with. That's the case for Vince Dooley's Georgia Bulldogs, but this team is rebuilding. The offense must replace most of the interior line of a year ago, and the search continues for a back to replace old number 34, Herschel Walker. It's the defense that'll lead the Dogs this season. All-American candidate Knox Culpepper at linebacker will anchor a physical bunch that's known for fierce hitting. Johnny Majors of Tennessee and his Volunteers will challenge for the top spot in the conference. It's a solid ball club that will rely on the running of Heisman Trophy candidate Johnny Jones. Jones became the only ball rusher ever to gain 1,000 yards on the ground in last season's performance. On defense, linebacking is the strength, led by number 44, Alvin Tolles. Tolles was second-team All-SEC in '83, and he's called the big play man. Louisiana State is a dark horse in the conference. Expect the defense to improve under the guidance of new head coach Bill Arnsparger, and watch for an explosive offensive unit led by record-setting junior quarterback Jeff Wickersham. His primary target will be number 41, Eric Martin, who caught passes last year for over 1,000 yards. In the backfield will be Dalton Hilliard and Gary James. They combined for over 1,100 yards on the ground in '83. Billy Brewer led the Rebels of Ole Miss to 5 straight victories to end the '83 season, and he wound up with SEC Coach of the Year honors. The '84 schedule is a tough one with Auburn, Georgia, and Tennessee among the foes, but the Rebels are young and improving, and they'll look for leadership from quarterback Kent Austin. Austin's favorite target is wide receiver Tim Moffitt, who caught 35 passes a year ago. The Mississippi State Bulldogs were 3-8 in '83, and it appears the record may reflect much of the same in 1984. Changes are in order. Head coach Emory Bellard has abandoned the wishbone and gone to the I formation. His biggest job will be to fill the spots of 14 starters who have been lost to graduation. Jerry Claiborne's Kentucky Wildcats are sky high after last year's 6-4-1 finish and a Holiday Bowl appearance. If running back George Adams performs well and the defense, which ranked 13th in the nation against the pass last year, keeps it up, the Wildcats will open more eyes than ever this season. At Vanderbilt, it's Air McIntyre, as the Commodores of head coach George McIntyre get most of their yards via the pass. Quarterback Kurt Page broke 4 SEC passing records last year while amassing 3,034 yards. He'll throw off into tight end Chuck Scott and running back Keith Edwards as Vandy tries to improve on last year's 2-9 mark. The Southeast region is quite strong in the independent area. The Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles of Jim Carmody have to be reckoned with as they come off 2 straight 7-4 seasons. The offense will be led by junior quarterback Robert Ducksworth, who passed for over 1,000 yards last year. Healthy in the backfield is senior Sam DeJarnette. He was injured often last season, and he still compiled 795 yards. DeJarnette is a proven player whose leadership is needed for the Eagles to be successful. The defense has lost Gerald Bayless to graduation, but it too should be a tough unit to score against. The Eagles get a chance to prove how good they are in September 8th's opener against Georgia. Many experts look for Bobby Bowden's Florida State Seminoles to replace Miami as the state's top independent. The Seminoles are loaded on offense, and senior tailback Greg Allen is expected to run for big yardage and for the Heisman Trophy. Allen will get the ball a lot as the Seminoles lean towards the ground game this year. Giving it to him will likely be junior Eric Thomas, who starred in the Peach Bowl victory over North Carolina last year. The defense has been suspect for the past 3 seasons. It must improve for the Seminoles to have a chance at an Orange Bowl berth.
This is Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's the home of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Many great college football players have played on this particular field. Some have even gone on to star in the NFL. 2 such players, quarterbacks Richard Todd and Kenny Stabler, are fighting it out for the starting quarterback job with the New Orleans Saints.
Richard Todd and Kenny Stabler have a lot in common. Both make their off-season homes in the Mobile area. Both are veteran NFL quarterbacks, and both played for Bear Bryant at Alabama. It's the first time in history that 2 quarterbacks from the same geographic region of the country with the same alma mater are fighting it out for the starting job with the same NFL team.
Well, both of them are experienced quarterbacks. Both of them they've got a lot of similarities. Both of them have played and won in this league. They're both good team leaders. The kids respect them, players respect them because they've proven they can do something. And there's not a whole lot different. They're both a whole lot alike as far as the stuff they do.
Between Kenny and Richards, anybody have an edge right now?
No, I wouldn't tell you if I did.
I knew you would. I'm not asking.
No, we're still trying to, I guess, decide.
Now I'll go out and try to do the best I can. I'm 30 years old. I've been in this league. This will be my 9th year, and Kenny's been around a little longer than I have. So it's really, I don't have any doubt that I couldn't do it. Kenny doesn't have any doubt that he couldn't do it either. So it's really just. If we've both been in the league long enough, if we were a little more, if we were younger in the league, the competition might be a little more pressing, but we both know we can play. It's just a matter of who Bum's going to name the starter, and whoever doesn't start, that doesn't mean he's not going to play. So, it's going to work out for both of us, I believe.
48!
Football means a lot to me, but I'm at the end of my career, and I realize that I'll be 39 in December, and it's at the end for me, and I just want to go out winning. I want to see this team win. I want to see the Saints win because of Nickham, and John is stuck here and taking a lot of criticism. Bum deserves to win. The city of New Orleans deserves to win, and I think we have a team that's capable of giving them a winning season. And whoever Bum decides gets it done for our team, well, the other one will respect that decision. The other two quarterbacks will do whatever's necessary to contribute in any capacity that Bum would like us to.
That's our show. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you at the games.